So in order to manage the permissions of the team member, you will go to the team list and click on the any of the team member. Then navigate to the permission tab. So now you can see that our permission system are predominantly divided into general permissions, as and at the end we have a special permission. And the general permissions are further divided into subcategories like task, related to task, and let's cover all of them in detail now. So first one is task create. If the team member has task create as yes, then he can create one task at a time. He'll not be able to create task in bulk, but he can create one task at a time. If he has no, then the team member cannot create task. Next is the task edit. So if the team member has yes, then he can edit the task as well as the task status, and this will be for all the tasks. But if you want to give only for the team members who have to whom the task is assigned, you can set the task edit to self. Here we have further given some hints. So we have given a baby emoji as well as a old man emoji. So what you trying to convey using this emoji is that if it is a baby emoji, then you can give this permission to all the team members. You can be lenient about giving this permission. In case of an old man, you should be strict, and this permission should be only be given to the uh, only senior most team members, or even rest in case of smaller offices, even restricted to one or two team members. That's all. Don't give this permission to everyone. Next is the task team permission, where the team member can assign or unassign the team members from the task. A self means they can assign or unassign team members only for their own assigned task. So in case of a larger offices where the partner can basically assign the task to a manager, and then manager can basically reassign those tasks to further subordinates, and hence you will use this self permission. In case of medium to small size firms, uh, if you want to give them permission, you would basically say yes, otherwise you would say no. This is task bulk permission. So this gives team members access to edit and create tasks in bulk. Next is the task verification permission, where if the team member has yes, then he can verify all the tasks. And of course, with verification, he can also unverify the task, basically change the task verification status. This is important because once the task is verified, the task becomes read only. Everything is completed, all the task billing, everything is done, you can just verify the task. Of course, billing status can be changed even after verification. All the other details of the task cannot be changed, like for example stages, to do's, subtask, task status changes, all those things would freeze. So that's why it is a very important permission. Self means that the team member can only verify the task if he is himself assigned to the task. Next, let's see the permission which are related to task. So first is task label. If the team member has yes, then he can add or remove labels to the task. So let me show you what I mean by label. When we go to the task list and click on add or delete labels, we can here add any label. Attention needed, add. So this. So now you can see we have a label which is attention. So this is what this permission allows me to do. No means that team member cannot add or remove labels. Self means I can add or remove only if the task is assigned to me. Next is task stages, where I can complete or incomplete task stage. So if I have, let me see if there is a task stage here. Yeah. So I can complete or incomplete this stage if I have task stage permission. Here self again means the same thing. If I can complete or incomplete the stage only if I am currently assigned to the task. Next, we have work done permission. Here, yes will mean that I can add work done. So let me show you that also. I can add the work done. I would say test, and I would say I worked from 11 a.m. to 11:44 and add it. So this I was able to do because I had work done permission, and this work done got added here. Self means that work done can be added only to the assigned task. So here our recommendation is to give work done permission leniently, but in case of a larger firms, once they have started using Jamco extensively and everything is systematized, then they could say that they can add work done only for their own task, and this permission will be set as self for all the junior team members, so that they will not by mistakenly add work done for other tasks where they are not currently assigned. And this will also give you a better picture as to if the team member is not assigned to the task and he still wants to add work done, then he should better get added to the task, and then only he should add the work done. So it helps in better team member allocation to the task as well. And this is only helpful for larger firms to set it to self. For smaller firms, I would not recommend using the self permission, because otherwise it will just hinder adding work done. Next, we have the hearing permission. So here, against a particular task, if I want to add any hearing or update this existing hearing, then I would need hearing permission. So yes means hearing for all the task. Self means add or modify hearing for the task where I am assigned. Next is subtask create. So in subtask, we have segregated the permission into two parts. One is just to create the subtask. Another one is to edit the subtask. And here, important point to note is that when we talk about creation of subtask, so here important to note is that when you assign the permission as self, this gives the team members permission to create subtask only for assigned task. So the important to note here is we check the task. So here when I am creating a new uh, a subtask by clicking a subtask name, it will check whether the team member like this Dhanashree is added to the current task Dhanashree. But when we talk about subtask edit, then we are talking about permission, and if it is set to self, permission is checked for subtask itself, whether the team member is assigned to the subtask. So if I open this pending list, and here if I see that, say suppose let me change the team members now. So now in this case, if Dhanashree, say suppose Dhanashree was given a self permission to edit subtask, she will not be able to edit the subtask because she is not added to the subtask. So here important to note it is assignment for subtask and not for task as it is in all other cases. And hence we have added this note as well. Next, let's cover to-dos in details. So to-do permissions have undergone of a lot of changes recently. So let's discuss them in detail. So first is the simple to-do permission, which gives you permission to add and update to-do. But when we talk about update, it does not include a marking of complete or incomplete to-do. So if I go back to the task and if I click on to-do, so I can add the, if I have this simple to-do permission, then I can add a to-do like this. Even I can update the to-do by saying and save it. So this to-do permission allows me to do addition and updating the to-do, but this permission does not allow me to mark the to-do as complete or incomplete. For this, we have a separate permission, which is which is to-do complete permission, which allows me to complete or incomplete to-dos. So if I complete this, I am able to do that because I have to-do complete permission. But here also we have another caveat. This only gives me permission to complete the to-do which are unassigned. So basically, this to-do was not assigned to any team member, hence I could complete this. So say suppose if I assign this to-do to a team member, so say Hina, and save it. Now, since the to-do is assigned to a particular team member other than me, then I would need other to do complete permission. And if this is set to yes, then I can mark this to do as completed. Otherwise, I will get an error that only Hina can. If I did not have this permission, then I cannot mark this to do as completed. So this is helpful if, say, suppose you have some to dos like, say, partner signing a balance sheet where you would assign the to do to only a partner. Then you don't want other team members to mark those to dos as completed. So here our recommendation is that other to do completed should be assigned to only senior team members and not to everyone. So this will ensure that the all the to do list is adhered to, and there is no by mistake marking of any particular to do. Next, we have to do delete permission, and here also we recommend that this is given to only senior team members. This is helpful, say suppose if you are adding a particular to do from a checklist or a template, to do template, and if that particular to do or that checklist is not applicable for this particular client, then you would simply delete that to do. So this permission allows me to delete the to do. We have a another to do permission which we call it as a to do special permission. We have, but we are not currently using this. It's an upcoming feature that we want to bring in. So once that feature is launched, we'll be covering that in a separate session. Next, let's come to client. In the client session, we have master data. So the master permission will allow you to add or create client groups, add and update client tags, add and update compliance. And of course, no means you will not be able to do any of these. Self means you will only be able to edit, that is update all these information. You'll and only for the clients where you are assigned for that particular client. So when we say assigned client, it means that you have a currently going on task for that particular client. Next, we have folder permission, which gives me permission to add or update folders for the clients, and self means for only for assigned clients. Password, the permission is divided into two. One is for add or editing the password. Another is for viewing the passwords for all the clients. This is a good way to control which team member has access to change the password of the client, as well as the team members who has only view only rights of the password. Here, my recommendation would be once the office have matured enough in using Jamku, then they can set the password view permission for all the junior team members to self, so that the junior team members can only view the password for the clients for whom they are currently working on. So once they mark the task as completed, automatically they will not be able to see the password of the client anymore. And once again, if they are assigned a new task for the client, then they will again start seeing the password. So this can be a good way to control password access. Next, we have profile. This gives me access to add and edit profile for all the clients. And this session, these permissions are only applicable for profile which are of private in nature. So if I go to a particular client and go to the profile session, and if I click on add, so here you can see that profile has a two confidentiality level. One is public and another one is private. So the team member can always see the public confidential information. This permission, that is profile view permission, is only applicable for private profile. So if you set this profile to be private, then the team members will be able to see this information only if they have profile view permission. Next, we come to HR. HR has a unique new permission. So by default, in most of the cases you have saw, it has yes, no, self, but HR has another one more important. No means the team members will not be able to add attendance for anyone. My means they will be able to add attendance for themselves only. My team means they can add attendance for his or her team members. And attendance all means they can mark the team members for attendance for all the team members in the office. And how we can define his or her team members? By going to the team page, and if I open Dhanashree, and here we can see that Dhanashree's team is empty. But if I open Pooja, so Pooja, if Pooja is given my team permission, then Pooja can update the attendance for Dhanashree as well as Darshana. The next is the common group. Here we have file permission. So yes means permission to upload or download file for all the task and clients. But file permission is a little bit more complicated, and hence we have created a help documentation along how this file permission works. And in this future update, we will also add a link to this help documentation. But in order to show file upload, and here you can see the file permissions. So how this file upload permission works, how this file view or preview download permission works, and how this file delete permission works. So you can have a look at all the help in the help documentation. Next, we have this report filter. So until now, when we were discussing all about permissions, so all these permissions were based on actions that the team members can take. They did not restrict what information they can view, or the it does not restrict the list of information. So report filter, as it clearly says, report filtering. So if the report filter is set to all, then there is no filtering. He'll be able to see all the tasks, all the hearings, all the reminders, all the work done. If you set this report filter to my, then the team member will be able to see only his assigned task, hearing, reminder, work done. If this is set to my team, then the team member will be able to see only the task, hearing, reminder, work done for his team. And as we discussed, the team can be set in the team view, the dashboard tab, and click on this add button. Similarly, we have this report filter for client. So client is separate from the other data. So if you want that the team members should be able to see all the clients but not all the tasks, then you can set the client report to all and the report filter to my. And here, in case of smaller firms, we recommend that you set this to all so that the team members can, if required, see all the data. And anyways, by default, when we open a particular list, it defaults to my. So still the team members can yeah, use the filters. This is the permission whether they can use that filter or not. Now let's talk about special permissions. Admin permission will be able to do many things, and these are the details here. Coming to billing, so billing permission is actually divided into two parts. One is billing and money. Billing basically means able to create and edit billing related information, and money permission is basically view only rights to the billing information. So the team member will be able to change the bill costing and other details. So if I want to quickly show an example of that, so if I click on this billing tab, I am able to view all this information because I have money permission. I am able to update this information because I have billing permission. I hope this makes sense and this clears that thing. So billing permission means that I am able to edit all the information, and since I have money permission, I am able to see this information. So where if you want some senior team members to just view this information, then you can give them money rights, so they can just have a look at this information, but they will not be able to click on update. And at last, we have this delete permission. So delete permission should not be given to, logically should not be given to any team members unless it is very much required. And also, if it is required, you give it only for that particular occasion, and then you revoke that access as soon as that purpose is completed. So this has access to delete many things.